of the beautiful things about crypto and blockchain technology is the just absolutely insane amount of various use cases and ways that this technology can be applied. And there's a new protocol coming live that is aiming to help people that have been victims of predatory high interest loans to refinance those and begin the journey of improving their financial health. So we're talking about Zivoe, who I partnered with for this video, and they are a real world asset protocol that works by pooling capital on chain and then lending it to people in the real world. And they can do this with the help of loan servicing companies. Now, the interest payments on these real world loans are then returned on chain, which offers the liquidity providers a sustainable yield, as long as the real world economic activity continues. So they're built on Ethereum and they use DeFi to make credit more accessible and affordable for consumers around the world. One of their main focuses is to really help provide more access to capital for underbanked and underserved areas. Really looking at credit markets that aren't being supported by the traditional financial system. Now, in these areas, borrowers are often looking at really high interest rates. And so Zivoe is looking to help a little bit more affordable rates to those areas to really help break that cycle of high interest debt. So right now, their efforts are mostly focused on the high interest lending markets here in the United States, specifically focusing on the non-prime personal loan sector. All right, so let's dive a little bit deeper into how this all works. Liquidity providers will deposit stablecoins. Right now, that's USDC, USDT, DAI, or FRAC to either a senior or junior tranche. And we will get more into what that means in a moment. And in return, they receive tranche tokens, which can even be staked for higher rewards. So when new deposits are made, Zivoe sends the capital to an originator that underwrites the credit for the real world loan. These loans are pulled together and transferred to a special purpose vehicle or SPV that then returns the interest back to the protocol. So these interest payments are received on chain and then returned back to the liquidity providers who are staking their tranche tokens. All right, so let's go deeper into the tranches. Sorry for the dad joke. But basically, a tranche is the primary channel that money enters and leaves the Zivoe protocol. As I mentioned before, they currently have two options, the senior and the junior tranche. Now, each offers slightly different things, and it kind of depends a little bit on your return expectations and your risk profile. But here you'll see a really nice breakdown of the two different options and what they offer and how they're different, and you can make a more informed decision on what might work better for you. Essentially, when you deposit a stablecoin into a tranche, you receive the tranche tokens in a 1-to-1 ratio. And there are different types of rewards you can earn, such as minting and staking. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit more into both of those. So for the minting rewards, doing this can make users eligible to receive the ZVE reward, which is distributed based on the amount you deposit, but also the amount that's in the tranche. Now, of course, there's staking, where in order to earn yield, you would need to stake your tokens. So in addition to the yield earned from the lending activities that we talked about earlier, staking also opens you up to be eligible for some of those ZVE rewards as well. Now, speaking of ZVE, let's next take a closer look a little bit at the token and the role that it's playing in the ecosystem. As I mentioned before, they're an Ethereum-based project, so it's going to be ERC20. And if we look at the governance, it's actually a community-owned platform, which is governed by a DAO of the ZVE token holders. So they have the authority to manage the protocol and propose changes, which they do through the Zivoe Improvement Proposals, also known as ZIPs. And these proposals can cover a whole range of things, everything from approving new contract integrations, adjusting protocol configurations, settling reward weights, directing DAO assets, and more. So proposals basically undergo an on-chain voting process where members can vote on these various proposals, and their weight is really based on the amount of tokens they hold. So basically, one ZVE equals one vote. And just to make sure everyone has kind of like fair access to that, it's not just if it's in your wallet, but also if you're staking it or vesting it, you'll also be able to vote with those tokens as well. Now, they are currently running their ITO, which is what they're calling it, the initial tranche offering, until September 21st. So those of you that are eligible and interested, here's just like a little bit more information on that. It's basically a 30-day event where you can deposit stablecoins into either junior or senior tranche. And when I say those who are eligible, I basically mean that either non-US or accredited US, just for those of you watching here from the States. So the senior tranche pays 10% APR and the junior pays 22. So basically those who are depositing right now will receive the tranche tokens and also ZVE points. And the reason points matter is because at the end of all this, they're going to actually be airdropping ZVE tokens to people based on their points. So if you do want to actually dive a little bit deeper into that, they did make a really great explainer video that I will link to in the description below. That is a high-level overview of what Zivoe is building. Obviously, there is just a lot more that you could dive into here. So if you head to zivoe.com, that's a great next place to go. Also, that YouTube video I mentioned earlier has a lot of good information. If you go to their website, you'll see this Learn More button, and that leads you to just a whole bunch of documents and a lot more that you can dive into. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much, Zivoe, for supporting the channel by sponsoring this video. And thank all of you so much for watching. And also be sure to follow them on social media for all their latest updates.